We welcome now Tracy Walder. She is NewsNation's national security contributor, also a former CIA officer, former FBI special agent. Tracy, thanks so much for hopping on the call. It's great to have you on the line.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
So we know here that a search warrant was obtained. Would you mind walking us through the process? What likely led up to the events we're watching unfold in now hour 2?
So I think the biggest thing that they would have obviously had to have had was evidence. A judge isn't going to sign off on a search warrant of a personal residence without having some kind of evidence. Now, what that is, I don't know. How long they had been compiling it for and how long this investigation has been going on for, I don't know. But I think the most basic level that they needed here was some kind of burden of proof, some kind of evidence. And I think that would have actually been very carefully looked at by the judge, knowing that this was a pretty high profile raid.
Correct. You know, and there are reports now, Tracy, that they're looking for classified documents. Can you walk us through that process? Where do agents start? And how important also is the apparent element here of surprise?
The element of surprise is important here, but I actually don't know that it's necessary in this particular case. I feel, although obviously we don't know for certain, that this has to probably do with his 2020 book. And Bolton has known for, 5 years now, that President Trump was not pleased with this book and that President Trump has targeted individuals before, who have done things like this. So I'm not necessarily concerned about the element of surprise that I have been in other cases where you do really need to enact that surprised nature in terms to preserve evidence. Now here, obviously, in terms of classified documents, we think about tangible documents that obviously agents are going through the home and probably the office looking for those. But also we have to think about digital documents as well and things like flash drives. They're also seizing computers and those kinds of things.
And might it have been strategic? You know, we don't know if the former ambassador, if he was home or not. Do you think law enforcement was surveying the scene? Would that be important in this case based on what you just outlined, Tracy?
It's absolutely important. I mean, that's something I always did prior to enacting arrests. And you would do that for some period of time. It could be a period of time of weeks, it could be a period of time of months, depending on the investigation. And I've done both. And so, yes, they were probably surveilling the scene, but that probably brings with it a host of complications. As was mentioned earlier, he does have Secret Service protection that was recently pulled, but he also probably has private security as well that would have picked up, my guess is, on any of that surveillance. And the FBI probably knew that and used other measures to surveil him going to and from work.
So according to reports, it does sound like the former ambassador, he's being cooperative. He's not under arrest at this time, as Libby outlined in her reporting. It's been roughly 2 hours now. How long do you expect this to last? And also, what do you anticipate comes next here?
I actually anticipate that this search will last a period of time. I would suspect the home may take a bit longer than the office just based on the sheer size, but they probably have 2 teams deployed rather simultaneously to do that. So I think we're looking at really most of the day, to be completely honest, to really go through. The next steps are going to be very similar to what we've seen in other cases where, you haven't seen these immediate arrests. I guess the most recent would be Diddy, if you will. Obviously not the same types of crimes here, but it's the idea that you had that probable cause to obtain the warrant, and now you have to sift through all of this information to determine whether or not there's actually probable cause for an arrest. And that is going to take some time. That can take months, to be completely honest.
Yeah, well, that's important perspective, and it seems like this started as a bit of a stealth operation, as low key as authorities could keep it. As media picks up, as this story gets out, obviously this scene is going to be dynamic throughout the day. What complications does that bring for the agents who are on the scene? What do they have to consider as this continues now?
Well, I think you want to keep people out of the scene, right? You want to keep that scene as pristine as you possibly can, as original to how they found it as they possibly can. They don't want people coming in and out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.